Good day everyone, and I'm Azna Locosan, and I'm discussing Module 3, Lesson 3.4, the rank, positions, staffing pattern, and job description. Letter A, ranks and position. The organization of private security agency, company guard forces, and government security units are patterned from the organizational structures of the PNP and the AFP. Hence, security officer and personnel too are distinguished by means of ranks and position. The ranks and position described in this lesson are in accordance with Sec 1 Rule number 7 of RA 5487. It is amended that the security agency operator or owner must observe the required major ranks and position in the organization of the agency. Number 1, security management staff. Security management staff composed of security director sa agency manager, chief security officer. Letter B, security executive director, SED, an assistant agency manager, assist chief security officer. Letter C, security staff director. It is a staff director for operation and staff director for administration. Number 2, line leadership staff. It is composed of security supervisor 3, the detachment commanders. Letter B, security supervisor 2, chief inspector. And letter C, security supervisor 1 is the inspector. Number 3, security guard is composed of letter A, security guard 1, watchman guard. Letter B, security guard 2, chief in charge. And letter C, security guard 3, post in charge. 4. Security guard consultants is optional but must possess all qualifications listed in Section 6, Rule number 3 of RA 5487. Letter B, staffing and job description. The structure of the PSA, CSF, and GSU also followed a vertical find staff model. The pattern of staffing and their respective job description are based on Section 2, Rule number 7 of RA 5487. Number 1, security management staff. Security management staff composed of agency manager, chief security officer. He is responsible for the entire operation and administration management of the security agency and directly responsible to the agency, operator, owner, and board director. Letter B, assistant agency manager assists the agency manager and takes the operational and administrative management when the manager is absent. Letter C, security staff director for operation, the staff assistant for the efficient operation of the agency. It is include canvassing of clientele and the implementation of contract and agreement. He is also responsible for the conduct of investigation and conduct of training. The security staff director for administration. He is the assistant for the effective and efficient administration and management of the agency. He is also responsible for the professionalization of the personnel, procurement, recruitment, conforming of award, mobility, and issuance of firearms. Number 2, line leadership staff. Letter A, the detachment commander. The field of area commander of the agency detachment shall consist of several posts. Letter B, the chief inspector shall be responsible for inspecting the entire area covered by the detachment. Letter C, the security inspector is responsible for the area assigned by the chief inspector of the detachment commander. Security guard. Security guard 3, or the post in charge, responsible for the entire detailed security officer personnel within the certain establishment. Security guard 2, or the chief in charge, is responsible for the security officers who are scheduled in a certain shift for a particular period. Letter C, security guard 1, or the security guard, watchman, and guard. The one actually posted as watchman or guard. C, specific duties and responsibilities. 1. Office of the General Manager, Security Director. Letter A. It is vested the authority and responsibility of running the security force by authority of the President of the company corporation. He is directly responsible to the President of the company corporation in the operation and administration of the security force. Letter C. He is the principal advisor to the President on matters involving security operation administration of the security force. Letter D. He is the overall head of both various staff department and field units where he may delegate corresponding authority commensurate to their assigned responsibility. Letter E. He implements policies promulgated by the policy-making body and executed by the President. F. He directs, control, and supervise all offices and field units of the force in their respective assigned tasks. Letter G. He performs other functions as directed by the President of the company corporation. So, specific duties and responsibilities of an office of the Executive Secretary of the General Manager. So, letter A, he is Principal Administrative Assistant to the General Manager Security Director. Letter B, he prepares communication initiated by the General Manager Security Director. Letter C, he maintains records of scheduled conference, appointment, and other engagement and advises the GMSD of the activities. Letter D, he records and checks on communication signed by the GM or SD as to its completeness, attachment to be considered, as well as to ensure the timely dispatch to the address through the administrative section. Letter E, to perform other duties as directed by the General Manager and Security Director. Specific duties and responsibilities of Office of the Assistant General Manager and Security Executive Director. Letter A, he takes the operational and administrative management of the security force in the absence of the GMSD. Letter B, he is directly responsible to the GMSD. And letter C, he performs other duties as directed by GMSD. And now we are here at number 4, the specific duties and responsibilities of an Office of the Human Resources and Administrative Manager Staff Director for Personnel and Administration. He is the Principal Staff Assistant to the General Manager Security Director for planning and supervising matters or activities pertaining to the personnel management and miscellaneous administrative functions such as personal strength, letter B, replacement, letter C, discipline, law and order, letter D, moral and personal service, letter E, personal procedure, letter F, interior management, and letter G, personal advisor. The specific duties and responsibilities of an Office of the Operation Manager is Staff Director for Operation. This office is the principal staff on operation, training, intelligence, and investigation. The specific duties and responsibilities of an Office of the Finance. This office is principally concerned with budgeting, finance, reports control, and program review and analysis. Exercises supervision over the management, engineering activities of the company and the accounting office. Render advice, assistance, and guidance to GMSD on financial management. Specific duties and function of the finance office are: letter A, accounting, letter B, credit and collection, letter C, bookkeeping, letter D, billing, letter E, payroll, letter F, disbursing. Specific duties and responsibilities of Office of the Logistic Manager. This office coordinate plans and supervise the implementation of directive and guidance, determines divisional responsibilities, and evaluates in logistical planning and related planning programs. Letter B. Develop, administers, and coordinate research and develop on logical matters. Letter C. Collect and computes statistical data on logistical matters. D. Recommends logistical budget policies including budget planning. E. Prepares estimate and or requirements to ensure that logistical plans support for corporate plans. Perform necessary program and fiscal administration. G. Supervise all matters pertaining to supply. H. Determine the organization allocation of service personnel. Letter I. Plans for maintenance and repair of supply and equipment. The specific duties and responsibilities of Office of the Inspectorate and Special Project, Special Staff. Letter A. This office assists the General Manager in inquiring into and report upon matters pertaining to the performance of different staff units toward the attainment of corporate objective. It also inquires on the state of discipline, efficiency, and economy of the company. Letter B. The inspectorate staff conduct inspection, investigation, and submit reports to General Manager. In the performance of the duty, it function the General Manager and provide relevant information pertaining to the meritorious conduct and performance of unit or individual. Letter C. This office is also tasked to conduct overt and covert inspection and investigation and other related services. Specific duties and responsibilities of Office of the Communication Officer. The communication officer, who is licensed radio operator, is the principal advisor of the general manager on communication on matters pertaining to radio communication. The specific duties and responsibilities of the detachment commander officer in charge. The detachment commander officer shall command and responsible for a certain detachment with 15 or more security personnel under him. He is directly responsible to the security manager of the installation. A. He prepare and execute the security plan of his detachment in relation to the security requirements of the establishment being guarded. Letter B. He is responsible for the enforcement and implementation of rules and regulation, policies. Letter C. He receive instruction from the security manager and implement the same as required. Letter D. He has full operational and administrative control of all his unit to include his assistant and chief in charge supervisor. Letter E. He conduct inspection of his unit and institute corrective measure on the spot on those problems he may detect or brought to his attention. If not possible, he bring the problem to the security manager of the establishment. The specific duties and responsibilities of Assistant Detachment Commander, ADC. Letter A. Detachments with more than 20 security personnel assigned may be provided with an Assistant Detachment Commander who will be Principal Assistant of the Detachment Commander. B. In the absence of the Detachment Commander, he performed the duties of the Detachment Commander. Specific duties and responsibilities of Chief in Charge. Letter A. The chief in charge shall be responsible to the detachment commander as far as his chief is concerned. Letter B. He performs his men at least 30 minutes before posting time, seeing that all are in proper uniform and presentable. Letter C. He disseminates instructions coming from his detachment commander, OIC, or those relayed to him by his counterpart Letter D. He inspects the post as often as he can to ensure that his men are on the alert and performing their duties effectively. Letter E. He performs other duties as may be directed by the detachment commander or by the ADC. The specific duties and responsibilities of security guard on duty or post. Letter A. The security guard on duty must always carry his license to practice his profession, Xerox copy of the firearm license assigned to him, and his duty details order, authorizing him to carry his issued firearms within his area of jurisdiction. Letter B. If the security guard is manning a fixed post, especially entrance or exit point, he must maintain a guard logbook and enter in the same logbook all events, passages of VIP's vehicle, and inspection or visit of security manager, director of the client firm. Letter C. Guard must observe and apply religiously the provision of the Code of Ethics, Code of Conduct, and the general orders of the security guard when on post. Letter D. He may perform special tasks as may be directed by his chief supervisor, DC, or ADC, like control of visitor, inspection of bags of person coming in and going out of the establishment, vehicle cargoes, or prevent the intrusion of an authorized person in a particular area. Concept letter D. Power and function. Security guard have the following powers and duties. Number 1. Territorial power. Perform duties within the firm or establishment with whom he or his agency has contact for security service and shall not go beyond the property or compound except letter A. When required by the clientele in accordance with the term of their contract to escort big sums of money and valuables, or letter B. In some cases, in hot pursuit of criminal offenders. Number 2. Arrest by security guard. He is not a peace officer and is not, therefore, clothed with police authority. However, he may effect arrest under any of the following. Letter A. When the person to be arrested has committed, is actually committing, or is about to commit an offense in his presence. Letter B. When an offense has in fact been committed and he has a reasonable ground, personal knowledge, to believe that the person to be arrested has committed it. Letter C. When the person to be arrested is a prisoner who has escaped from penal establishment or place where he is serving final judgment, or temporarily confined while his case is pending, or has escaped while being transferred from one confinement to another. 3. Method of arrest. The watchman, security guard, or private detective shall inform the person to be arrested of the intention to arrest him and cause of the arrest, unless the person to be arrested is as previously stated, or when the giving of such information will imperil the arrest. Number 4. Duties of security guard making arrest. He shall immediately turn over the person arrested to the nearest peace officer, police outpost, or headquarters for custody and or appropriate action, or he may without delay and within the time prescribed by Article 125 of the RPC. Search without warrant. Any security guard may, letter A, incident to the arrest, search the person in the presence of at least 2 witnesses. Letter B, also search the person, firm, or establishment with which such search is required by the very nature of the business of the clientele. Number 6. General scope of detective work. A private detective shall operate on a covert type of mission on a specific confidential order issued by his agency. The nature of his mission may depend on the contract between the client and the detective agency. It shall include letter A, personal security, investigation background investigation. Letter B, locating missing person. Letter C, surveillance work. And letter D, other detective work as may become the subject matter of the contract between the agency and its client provided it is not contrary to law, public order, public policy, moral, and good custom. Number 7. General orders similar to AFP and PNP GOs. Number 8. Duties to assist law enforcement. Any security shall be bound to assist any peace officer in the pursuit of his bonding duty when requested, provided it is within the territorial jurisdiction of his SG area of duty.